Greetings, family. How are you? This is King Simon from KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com, King Simon Productions.eventbrite.com, and King Simon Productions on Facebook, especially on my public page. That's King Simon Production. If you want to join me on Facebook, King Simon on Facebook, MC Simon also on Facebook. And please look for any of my groups, King Simon and Family, the Judgment Network. Those are a lot of groups. And on Instagram is King Simon Productions. Friend me on Instagram. That's King Simon Productions, so you know the next events coming up and all the different other things that are coming up. Also, King Simon Prod. That's Prod. King Simon Prod at Twitter. You can hit me up there also. And if you want a numerology consultation, we do go through your name, we go through your birthday, we go through the numbers connected to your health, we give you your high frequency numbers, your low frequency numbers, your complacent or neutral numbers. I go through a whole thing for definitely an hour. I do recommend people go for the hour, but if you can only do the 35 minutes and get it recorded, please do so. Please text me your full name and date of birth at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. If you want to definitely set up a numerology consultation and guiding consultation. It is a conversational piece, so you get to ask me any questions in regard to relationship, health, whatever. In regards to business, that's what the consultation is all about. Numerology, you can either do 35 minutes or an hour. I do not do a written report. I just do a verbal report, which you can record. If you're doing 35 minutes, it's $70, $20 extra if you want it recorded and sent to you via email. Or you can do the hour, which is $130 for the whole hour, and the recording is included. You get the recording for half price if you do the whole hour. So please take advantage of it, because numbers are here to guide you, just like any other modality. It's here to guide you. It gives you a bird's eye view of what is happening, what you need to do, and how to work with the cycles or the seasons. And on that point, I want to read something from the biblical perspective, or out of the biblical perspective, going straight to Ecclesiastic chapter 3. And it says, Ecclesiastic 3:1, it says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silenced and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. That is Ecclesiastic 3 from 1 through 8. I read that because they emphasize time. And time is dealing with numbers, the measurements of number. There's a time for this, a cycle for this, a season for that. So each and every one of us has a season that we are in. We can't just keep on saying that only women go through cycles. Men and women and everything under or in this planet, in this realm, goes through a season. So yes, every day you go through, especially in numerology, there's a mathematical seasons and frequency that you're dealing with, or vibration that you're dealing with on an everyday basis, a year-to-year basis, a month-to-month basis, an hour-to-hour basis. And some of the numbers, frequencies are higher for some people and lower for others, or are neutral for others. Neutral means it only could go either or either. Not bad or good. It's none of that kind of stuff. Usually it becomes bad or good because of where we're at in this realm. And sometimes if you continue on lower energies of the frequency of that number or what you're born under, it becomes destructive. So there's like 3 different levels of this, where you can always vibrate or thrive to vibrate on a higher level in this society, in this world, or you can thrive to vibrate on a fall to the lower level of this world. And if you continue the lower path, then it becomes destructive. So there is a difference from high, low to destructive. Now, this particular video is Our Health is Important. Matter of fact, that's based on my book, Numbers Are Simple. Our Children's Health is Important. Although I put it as I've put it down as a children's book on Amazon and Kindle, it also deals with you, the adult, because all of us are still children of the universe, children of the ancestors, still children of the creator, and children of the creative force. And this is going to be about basic numerology and its connection to health. I more than likely will pull out, of course, my teacher's book. He speaks on it very well. Very good book. My book, of course, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, speaks on it. But I don't have my children's book with me, and it's called Numbers Are Simple, Our Children's Health is Important. And I'm going to talk about this man's book, Harish Johari, who also has a health segment inside each of his numerology breakdown, which is, it all confirms and connects with each other. So let's begin. I'm happy to be here with you right now. I am someplace in Georgia with my family. Of course, in the background, you can see the basic strike moves or points that I gave my son years ago. I'm staying in one of my son's rooms, who just happens to be in the military at this time. And I'm happy that my former wife allowed me to stay here. That just shows you that we are healing. And through the numbers, mathematically, it helped us to heal and understand each other a little better. She comes to me for consultation also, which is always free for her and any of my children or people or family members. However, they're not in it as much as I am, but because, at that point in time, we were in the Nation of Islam, understanding that, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan did teach on mathematics. Like one of their lessons would say mathematics is Islam and Islam is mathematics, and it always stands true. Yes, mathematics is numerology, because numerology just means the study of numbers in any form, in any level, in any part, whether it's abstract, objective, whether it's connection, whether it's esoteric. That is a study of numerology, the study of numbers. That's all numerology means, just to clarify certain things. So first, I'm going to use my book first and go into the health. This is not going to be a long video, but we're going to go straight into it. So those who have my book or haven't gotten my book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, get the book. The health segment starts off right on page 60, where in my book I discuss how the numbers in your name and the numbers in your birthday also can tell you what to look out for in case of health problems, health issues. If you don't take care of your health, you're going to either go down the low vibration and frequency of it, and then you will contract or have to deal with that ailment. And if you have more than one number, let's say you have a multitude of ones or a multitude of twos or a multitude of numbers in your name, that also tells me that it can attract a certain amount, a certain ailment or certain disease to you if you don't pay attention. So that's why I'm teaching this. I teach class online, and my online classes will start in March, around March 22nd. I'll let everybody know, depending on where I'm traveling, what's going on. If it don't start in March, it will start in April. But definitely I will be doing probably 1 or 2 4-week courses on basic numerology and how to understand it and deal with it. 4 weeks of and my classes are usually like $199, $200 for 4 weeks. So that's really like $50 a week, but you got to pay it in full. And I usually like to only have like 10 to 15 people in my classes. I usually teach it on a private Facebook page. I have a private Facebook page called Classes with King Simon. And I'm studying Zoom and Skype and see how that works. Because if I do it that way, then I probably can accommodate more people. But I want to keep it intimate when I teach my classes, only because I want to be able to answer all your questions, because usually I give a half an hour to 45 minutes extra time. Don't worry, it's not a 5-hour class. My classes are usually 2 to 3 hours, the max. 2 to 3 hours, and usually I give it 2.5 hours and then half an hour for any questions pertaining to that particular class that we taught. The numbers are simple, people are complicated. And the manual for the class is this book, or all the books that I refer to in the back. I do give recommended reading in the back of my book. Of course, Numbers in You, Lloyd Strayhorn, Your Days is Numbered by Florence Campbell, Numerology for Healing by Michael Brill, Numerology, A Key to Human Behavior by Harish Johari, Helping Yourself with Numerology by Helen Hitchcock, and Books of Numbers by Shiro. Now, some books you might not be able to get online. You might not be able to get it. I'm not selling it. So if you want to find those books, please rewind this tape or rewind this video and look for those books yourself if you really want to study this science of numbers. So please pay attention. We're going to deal with the health, and I'm going to go straight to what I said in my book about numbers and health. So first thing I said, in this chapter, we will touch on numbers and its simple connection to our health, names, and words we use. Health is a very important part of each of our lives, and we cannot do anything without good health. When I teach on the trains and the buses of New York, I find that my health presentations are well responded to. I think everyone in their right mind knows that maintaining good health is necessary for various accomplishments in life. Really, think about it. If you were sick and unable to move, would you be able to enjoy the things you love to do, like vacations, dinners at your favorite restaurants, and movie nights with a friend or family member, or even walking through a park? The answer is no. So be under no illusion. Your health is the most important part of living in this realm. Very important. That's what I said in my book. I uploaded this book in my mind around 2014, 2015. And now we're in 2019. And it's a basic introduction to numerology. Like I said on the book, it says numerology uses numbers as a key to human behavior, an easy to learn method that exercises the mind's intuitive faculties. Yes. So the more you learn, the more you start developing certain things. For example, when I am feeling down or feeling a little depressed and it just came upon me, I look directly to the numbers first, because the number gives me a tangible reason or tangible connection to why I'm going through that vibration at this particular time. And most of the time, 99% of the time, I'm either in a number 4 month, day, or year. I mean, either a number 7 month, day, or year, or I'm in a number 5 or 8 frequency, depending on it. But the stronger frequency that deals with depression and worry is the number 4 and the number 7. All right. So you could be born on the 4th or born on the 7th or born connected to those numbers. You always have to be mindful of your mind and take care of your mind. But we're going to go into it briefly. I'm going to talk about it. That coming out of my book and Lloyd Strayhorn's book. Very important that you recognize the frequencies of that you're going, because it could be things that is really you're receiving from out of the airwaves, because our minds are transmitters and receivers. So it could be a song that reminded you of a loved one that has passed. It could be a song that reminded you of in the airwaves that's traveling, because these are all frequencies. That's why in order for you to get to a radio station, you got to know the call letters or the call numbers to get to the radio station. If you go looking for WBLS, which is 107.5 in New York City, and you don't have 107.5 to go to that frequency, then you'll never get to WBLS. You get to some other station. You might get to 107.9, which is an underground station or something like that. So understanding frequency and numbers and how it connects with you, and also connect with your mind, which is a transmitter and a receiver. Remember, a lot of us hear music out of nowhere. And sometimes that song that comes back to you is either something that was soothing to you when you was younger, or something that was traumatic to you when you was younger. It just depends. And it could be playing it anywhere, in anybody's house, and your mind is just that prone and picking that up immediately. So we always have to be careful and monitor the frequencies while we're here in this realm. Because I tell people, numerology is objective. especially when it comes to people like myself or Lloyd Strayhorn or various people like Kaya French or Natosha, the Number Swami, or various other people doing astrology. It's very objective. So I can read anybody in my family, read all of my friends or anybody, or do a consultation with anyone being objective without being emotional. You know, one of my ex-wives asked me that. Can I do a numerology reading without being, can I do a numerology reading being objective? I said, of course, because numbers not going to lie to me. I don't care what me and you go through. I can always be very clear and very objective when dealing with numerology. And let's break down that word objective first, because I know, you know, people like Star from the Star Chamber, or Star Buckwild is the objective hater, and he wrote a book on objectivity. But let's look that up. Let's look up that word objective. I want people there. It's the word objective because I've looked it up. Now, the word objective means a person of their judgment, not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing facts. Not influenced. Numerology is not influenced by a person's feelings or opinions in considering or representing facts. It's impartial, it's unbiased, it's unprejudiced, non-partisan. It's and that's what you got to realize about numerology. So it does. That's why when I do my consultation, people be amazed by what I'm saying and what I'm saying about them and how to guide them on what they're feeling. And most of it is already, matter of fact, all of it is already in you. I'm just confirming it with the day you were born and the names, that the frequencies of the day that you was born and the names you were given. That's why I always like to repeat what Les Brown has said, and I know he's repeating somebody else, but it says the two most important days in your life is the day you were born and the day you find out the day you find out why you were born. Drink some water. So numerology, astrology, and tarot, and different, even palmistry, those things that people have made demonic or had us run away from because they call it the occult, which only means mystery. Those things are important to free you from a lot of madness and make it all be placed on you and your creative force, not you depending on any prophet or any this or any that, not taking away from what you're doing. It's only there to guide you. Just like reading any book or reading any scripture or anything, it's just there to guide you. Once people understand that, it's all good. You know, it's all good, because even if they say it's from the demons and it's from the that and all that, we got to remember that all demons and devils were created by your creator for a reason. And one thing I pointed out on an interview the other day, a few months ago, when my dear friend asked me about this on a radio show, she said, a lot of people say this is satanic. And I said, first of all, Satan had all this wisdom and knowledge before he fell. So where did he get all this wisdom and knowledge? And why are the people on this earth that are using it for negative using it when you could have proper intentions and use it for your benefit? Use it to guide you. Use it to do what you have to do for yourself. Remember, Satan was called the bright and morning star first before he fell. So he had all this knowledge and wisdom that the Creator bestowed upon him in his creation. And then when he fell, he used it on earth negatively. And that's on that person's intentions. That's why I always tell people to come into these type of modalities with the proper heart and proper intentions. If you come in with the negative stuff, you're going to use it for negativity. Simple as that. Keeping it simple. All right. So getting into health, the importance of health. All right. You know, and like I said in my own book, it says, remember, these ancient sciences do not take you away from your belief or knowledge of the Creator. It can only make you a better religious person in the Creator's sight if used for positive means. I wrote it in my own book. It's in my book. I've been wrote this. So I am under no illusions. Under no illusions. Now, people born under the number one. And when I mean the number one, I said people born on the 1st of the month, the 10th of the month, the 19th of the month, or the 28th of the month. People born under that but usually have heart issues or have to look out for heart issues or can suffer from heart issues, irregular circulation, palpitation, high blood pressure. They can also suffer from eye problems and astigmatism, and they should check out their eyesight regularly. And of course, that's very important to pay attention to. But let me go into Lloyd's book when he speaks on it. Lloyd is my teacher, so he basically we're basically saying the same thing because I studied Lloyd very well, and I make reference to him many times in and out of my book. As far as let's go to 225 in Lloyd's book. 225 in Lloyd's book, and he says about the number one. He says, born on the 1st, 10th, and 19th, and 28th under the sign of Aries, Leo, you're likely to suffer from eye problems of all kinds, especially astigmatism, and from exposure of bright and direct sunlight. There may also be lung troubles, high blood pressure, irregular blood circulation, and heart palpitations. Then he goes on to give you, especially be careful during for health months, during the months of January, May, and October, speaking about the number one. But let's go also to this book. Like I said, I want to cover them from three. I'm not going to keep it too long, family. I'm just going to cover it from three. Why it's important to study your health, why it's important to study the numbers connected to your health, and why it's important to get sometimes a health consultation, to get a full health consultation, or if you want to, because even the year that you're coming in, or your personal year, or the month can also help guide you to understand what you're going through. So if I hear somebody say they're going through some kind of lung issues or breathing issues, I would look straight to the numerology and tells me, okay, they got to check out the number 6 in their area. That's where the 6 rules the lungs, the sinuses, the throat, and all that. You start going through that 6 energy. That's so important to recognize those type of things, or you're connected to those numbers, the 6, or the 15th of the month or the 24th month, and you find yourself constantly getting sinuses and congestion and all that rules chest area, vaginal area, or your genitals. That rules the 6 rules that energy also. So going to Brother Harish, and person from India, his book, he's passed on years already, in regards to health and the number one, he says, in regards to health of the number one, he says, although all ones have a strong build, they always have problems with their circulatory system and suffer from high blood pressure in old age. Their eyes often cause them trouble after 56, and they may be hospitalized often, but they will recover quickly and live a long life. They're advised to use foods that purify the blood and refrain from hard work after they pass 50. They should massage their bodies with sesame or almond oil to maintain good blood circulation. Any exercise that enhances circulation can be very helpful to them. See, I'm a number one, being born on February 1st. So the key things about dealing with things with circulation, blood pressure, high blood pressure, because 1 rules high blood pressure, 3 rules low blood pressure. That's what you got to pay attention to. And they said you should refrain from hard work after 50. I am now 51, going on 52. That's why I've always told my last wife specifically that my 50s and beyond would be my greatest years, because I know I wasn't going to learn. I was not going to work that hard, because when I read my numbers, I understood where my stronger or my higher frequency numbers would lie, and where my challenge numbers would lie, and I learned to overcome the challenges. So remember, in my numerology session, I give you your high frequency numbers, your low frequency numbers, and how to overcome those low frequency challenges. So it's very important. So to breeze through this is one book. I'm not going to keep on going to this book because he has long breakdowns about each health thing. So good book to get. And if a person is not willing to recommend certain books to help you, something is not right. So I like what Brother Panic and what Bobby Hemmett and what the various speakers do when they offer good advice about getting certain books. And this guy is from out of India. Each book that I'm pulling out now is from darker hue people. He's from India. He passed on, I think, in 1990. Of course, Lloyd Strayhorn is a black man. It's a very good book. So I'll be focusing on my book and Lloyd's book, because we give like short, brief things on health and all that. So going to number 2, people born on the 2nd of the month, the 11th of the month, the 20th of the month, or the 29th of the month can suffer from all types of stomach and digestive issues. Must be careful of ptomaine poisoning, gastric issues, bowel problems, and internal growth of all kinds. Get regular checkups and drink plenty of water. Now, Brother Lloyd says, again, he's my teacher, so if you see similarities, it is what it is. But like I said, even there were similarities between all of us with the guy from India, because he just went into more extensive study from his background. I kept it simple because I'm a direct and simple person as far as breaking stuff down. I like to keep it direct. But Lloyd says for the number 2, if you're born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or 29th of the month, or under the signs of Cancer and Taurus, you're likely to suffer with stomach and digestive problems of all kinds. Watch out for ptomaine poison, internal growth, hemorrhoids, tumors, cancers, or diabetes. And if you're a number 2 woman, you may have added health concerns connected with the reproductive organ. Be careful during the months of January, April, and November. Important, but he's talking about women as far as the reproductive organs, also men, because we are still eating the same foods and doing the same thing that our mothers gave us or our wives are giving us. So usually we will just get the same type of ailments like them. And because they're putting so much chemicals and hormones in the foods, we got to just pay attention. So Lloyd says that in his book. Going back to my book now, going to number 3, people born under the number 3 can suffer from nervous issues, overstrain of the nervous system. Be careful of developing various forms of skin problems, low blood pressure, foot issues, and kidney problems. Do not overwork yourself. See, I kept it real simple. Lloyd now goes in the number 3, and he says those born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month, or under Pisces and Sagittarius, may have health concerns around emotional upset, strained nerves brought on by overwork, low blood pressure, skin problems of all kinds, foot problems, kidney disorder, inflamed nerves, and jaundice. Be careful during February, June, August, and September. This is in Lloyd's book. Like I said, these are books, all these books you can get on Amazon and Kindle. And like I said, I've stayed focused on mine's and Lloyd's book, but this is definitely a good book in regards to understanding health and how to use for health. Okay. Now, going into my book on again, my book, numbers are simple, people are complicated. Number 4, people born under the number 4 can suffer from mysterious ailments that are difficult to diagnose. You can have mental issues, and head, back, bladder, kidney pains are possible. Being mindful of depression. Try to stay away from highly seasoned meals or red meat. It says also hypnosis is a recommended treatment. That's what I wrote in my book. Now, Lloyd wrote in his book under the number 4, if you were born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month, or under the sign of Aquarius, you're likely to suffer from odd and unusual types of illnesses that are hard to pinpoint or diagnose. There might be a freak accident and unexplainable injuries, moodiness, mental and emotional disorders, self-inflicted wounds, or suicides. Take special care of your health during the January, May, and October. This is in Lloyd's book. Now, as a side note and a disclaimer, family, I want to just make sure everybody understand, just because the number 4 may be connected to self-inflicted health or suicide, don't mean you have to take that road. That means you just have to go out and get help. Go out and go to a professional psychotherapist, or go to the suicide.com hotline and go and get help. Don't be afraid to go and get help. And if you are born under the number 4, connected to those numbers of 4, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month, please seek help. Do not hold it in. I tell that to number 4s and number 7s, especially because they have a tendency to hold things in. And I have a friend that was born under number 7 that checked herself into a mental facility at least 2 to 3 times because she was going through some traumatic stuff with her husband, who basically took away her son. And this is a son that she's raised for years, and all of a sudden this man was able to take away. So she went through a real deep depression. And this is someone born on the 7th. She was born on the 7th of the month, but 4s and 7s suffer from that. So you got to, so like I said, this is just, numerology is just for guidance. It's not to tell you what to do and how to do things. It's just to guide you into what you need to do that's already within you. But remember, if you are suffering from any form of depression, any form of suicidal thoughts, please go to the suicide hotline. And let me see if I can find the suicide hotline for you real quick. If we have the suicide hotline for you, those that might be suffering from it, suicide hotline. I'm going to give you the number right now, those that might be suffering from that, because that is a health issue, mental health issue. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255. I'll repeat it again. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255. An example also, Mac Miller was going into his 4-year also in as far as numerology is concerned. His 4-year. He was in his 4-year in numerology. Also, a friend of mine just took her life, who was also born under the number 13 and entered into a number 7 year. So I understood the dynamics when I start seeing certain things and certain patterns. Because one thing about numerology and the study of numerology, family, remember, scientific evidence always requires 3 things: that it can be measurable, repeatable, and observable. Scientific evidence requires 3 things to test if they can be verified, and that's when they are measurable, repeatable, and observable. And numerology, for thousands of years it's been around, has been all of that. It's been measurable, repeatable, and observable. So I've observed in my studies for over the years, and through studying under Lloyd and various other studies from Gematria and studying Abjad or Kabbalah, there's observable, measurable, and repeatable things that are happening under certain number frequencies. So it is what it is. So number 4, please, people born under that number 4, in a number 4 year, number 4 month, are going through those 4 frequency energies, because you might have a multitude of 4s and 7s in your name and all that kind of stuff. Please seek help, seek professional help for any suicidal tendencies, what have you. Like I said, the National Suicide Prevention number is 1-800-273-8255. There's always a shiny star on the other end. Please go for it and don't give up. Don't be a punk and give up. You got much more to live for. Believe me, family. All right, now going into number 5 with me in my book, the 5 person can suffer from nervous problems, mental fatigue, insomnia, twitching in parts of the face, eyes, hands, possible paralysis. The 5s need to get plenty of rest. That is the best remedy. People born under number 5. Now, what Lloyd says about the number 5, he says those born on the 5th, the 14th, and the 23rd of any month, or under Gemini or Virgo, will likely suffer from overstrained nerves, mental exhaustion or breakdown, insomnia, nervous tension, amnesia, paralysis, vertigo, stammering, twitching in some parts of the face, and lung problems. Care must be exercised during the months of January, March, and December. Okay, paying attention during those months are very important. Fatigue and all that stuff. So that's people born under number 5. Now going to people born under the number 6 energy. Those are born number 6. This is coming out of my book, and I'm doing mine and Lloyd's book. And remember, you can get our books on Amazon or Kindle. That's Amazon or Kindle. You can get both of our books on Amazon or Kindle. The 6th person can suffer from throat, nose, sinus issues. The upper part of the lungs can be a problem: hay fever, blood circulation, bronchitis, and asthma. Women connected to the number 6 should be mindful of any problems relating to their breasts. Get frequent checkups and avoid fattening foods. That's what I say in my book. And like I said, this is a very good book from India. This guy, Harish Johari from India, very good book. Also, it definitely deals with the health also. 6, Lloyd says in his book, born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of any month, or under Libra or Taurus, you tend to have problems with the nose, throat, sinuses, and upper part of the lungs, hay fever, irregular blood circulation, and or heart palpitation, bronchitis, and asthma. If you're a woman, you may have to deal with additional problems concerning your breasts. Be careful during January, February, April, and August. Men also be careful of all this, and y'all may not, we have breasts, but it's like we call it the chest. We also have to pay attention to our chest, especially if you're born under the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month. Now, those born under the number 7, very important number also. 7 can suffer from too much worry and being annoyed. Too much worry and being annoyed. They can also go through mental frustration and imagining the worst. They can also go through mental frustration and imagining the worst. Skin and minor stomach problems can be an issue. Pimples, boils, and rashes can also develop if you eat anything that disagree with your digestive system. Relax, avoid moodiness, and do not worry yourself until you're sick. Do not worry yourself sick. Please, number 7. Like I said, that's also one of the numbers I always be very cautious with when dealing with health and all that, and mental and sometimes depression and all that kind of stuff. Lloyd says in his book, as the number 7, if you were born on the 7th, the 16th, the 25th of any month, or under the signs of Cancer or Pisces, you tend to suffer with worry, annoyances, and mental aggravation more than anything else. In addition, you tend to let your imagination get out of control by thinking the worst. And there may also be skin problems and night sweats, as well as minor stomach concerns. Be careful during the months of January, April, and August. That's what Lloyd has put in his book. Like I said, each of these books you can get on Amazon and Kindle. Even if you buy my book alone, I do have in the back of the book recommended reading in the back of the book. If you want to find out more, I got a whole list there, like it's like a bibliography. Let's go to the number 8, shall we? It says the 8th person can suffer from headaches, blood disorders, rheumatism, liver, bowels, intestines, and excretory issues. Concerns with the knees, teeth, and bones can be problematic also. They should stay clear of animal meat as much as possible and be careful of wrong medications and wrong prescriptions. Keep away from lonely thoughts, number 8. Now, 4 and 8 basically share the same type of frequencies and energies, but it's just 8 is doubling of the 4. So 8 also have to be careful of lonely thoughts and those mental things, and also wrong diagnosis and wrong problems, and also those type of things leading to hurting themselves or inflicting pain on themselves. So 8 again, like the number 4, like the number 7, and the number 5, because 5 can deal with mental fatigues and mental issues also. So those are the numbers, but the primary numbers are the 4 and 7 that you have to be mindful of when it's dealing with deep depression. 5 and 8, they're okay, but they also go through their depression. And I'm not going to say that any other numbers don't go through their form of depression, but each one has a different vibration, a different frequency on how they handle it. Now, if you're born under the other numbers, other than the number 4, 7, 5, 7, and 8, if you're born under the other numbers other than that, you might have a multitude of certain numbers in your name that's identifying or that's bringing that energy to you. So because it is possible that you bring, that type of energy to you if you have so many numbers under that frequency, under the 4 or the 7 or the 8 or the 5 number. So you have to pay attention. So numbers help us to intricately pay attention to what's going on in our charts, not to fully depend on it like we're looking at calendar, but my calendar does look different than yours, especially when we set up calendars, personal calendars. Lloyd does the personal calendars. I'm doing the personal calendars, but I haven't started doing the personal calendars yet. I have Lloyd do it, and I will send you to Lloyd if you want to do a personal calendar. You can go to Lloyd's website. That's Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Lloyd-Strayhorn.com if you want a personal calendar for yourself for the year. A personal calendar for yourself. I'm trying to find another method. I don't just want to write on the calendar and all that. So I'm trying to find another method where it can be much more exciting. Lloyd keeps it simple. He gets the calendars. He'll write and do a color code and deal with what calendar days are good, what months are good, what days are good, what are more favorable, what are less favorable. He deals with that. But I'm developing my own system so it can be more intricate and I can deal with people. And I get a larger love gift when you start prepping those type of things. But I understand the simplicity. Lloyd keeps it simple. Also, he's Aquarius like myself. Okay, so moving along from the 8, we're going to go to the number 9 person, and this will be the last one. Number 9 person can suffer from fevers, measles, chickenpox. You can be accident prone, burns, cuts, bruises, car accidents, etc. They should avoid spicy food and alcoholic beverages of all kinds and steer clear of fires, guns, knives, and explosives. Stay away from overindulgence of any vices, especially alcohol, number 9s. Now, the 2 most addictive numbers in numerology, according to my research and study, and through Lloyd's research and study, has definitely been the number 5 and the number 9. They get addicted to sex, drugs, alcohol, and all that. So y'all got to be very mindful not to go down. It's all right to have sex because sex is one of the most powerful energies in the universe. Yes, so please pay attention to what you're doing and how you're doing. And remember, 9 comes through, 9, 5, and all these numbers come throughout your life, throughout your frequency, come throughout the whole year, because you could be at personal month, you could be in that personal day, you could be in that personal year. Each one of them goes through your charts all day long, every day, every month, every year. It goes through your charts while we're here on this realm. So 9s, gotta be careful of accidents, gotta be careful of how they handle weapons. And I always tell people born with the number 9, whether you have a 9 alignment number, personal number, or core numbers, or any of your core numbers is a number 9. It's a universal number on one side, a humanitarian number on one side, but it's also a war-like number. It's connected to the signs of Aries and Scorpio, but that Aries energy is strong. The Scorpion energy deals with the passion and the love and that passionate frequency. But the other side of the 9 is that war, that military, that police, that type of frequency, the weapons, the guns. If you find yourself loving adventure movies all the time and you get excited when you see a good adventure movie, whether it's a Mission Impossible or something, that's also the number 9 energy. So paying attention to those number 9 energies is very important when you're in that cycle, because I tell number 9s that they need to avoid getting into arguments because the argumentative numbers are usually between the 8 and the 9. They are usually the ones that can put in a good debate or get into some argument. And the 1 and the 3 are the first on the chart, but primarily towards the higher frequency numbers that deals with arguments and debates are people born on the 8th of the month, 17th of the month, the 26th of the month, or people born on the 9th of the month, the 18th of the month, or the 27th of the month. So be very mindful when you're going into those number 8 years, number 9 years, those different years, because you could be under the most humblest number frequency, whether it's the 2 or whether it's the 6, the loving energies of those numbers, but get into those cycles, the 9 and the 8s, and get into arguments and not even know. And it goes through your day. You could be at 8 o'clock having arguments or 9 o'clock having arguments, because it goes through the day. It goes through your life. We're living in this realm, and these are where the numbers and the frequencies are very strong in these frequencies. As for guidance, so we learn to manage our weaknesses and strengthen our strength to be better and rise to the highest occasion, so we can go beyond this physical realm, because at the end of the day, we are over all numbers and all astrology. We're over all of that. As a matter of fact, I put it in the back of my book. I made sure I quoted, and I always like to say this quote. I quoted, I haven't memorized it yet, but I quoted a scholar named Paracelsus. And he wrote in one of his books, From Magic to Science, the story of Paracelsus. And it says, this is a quote that I took from his book when I read it. He said, "Men and women are superior to the stars if he or she lives in the power of superior wisdom. Such a person, being master over heaven and earth by means of his or her willpower, is a magus or magi, and magic is not sorcery, but supreme wisdom. Magic is not sorcery, it's supreme wisdom. Because at one time, before we even knew the word science, which is coming out of the Latin vernacular and all that kind of stuff, it was called magic or magi or magic, before it adopted this new change, and then they separated the two. But at one time, that whole alchemy and all that kind of stuff was very powerful, very thing. It was all called magic. And anytime a woman was a little wiser, or a man was a little wiser, they would call you a witch or warlock. It's just what it is in history. It's just what it is. Even with the word pagan, if you dig back, it didn't mean someone who was an idol worshiper. The word pagan meant a civilian of that time or that place. Matter of fact, we can Google that up right now. I mean, I like, I like to see it, make it happen, and show people how this thing is. I could show you better. I can tell you, show you better than I can tell you. So let's go to that word pagan. And I have multitude of dictionaries in my home in Brooklyn. Pagan meaning. Okay, going back here. See, from their point of view, when you got the Jesuits that took over the lexicon and all that kind of stuff, they keep on saying heathen and infidels and atheists. But when you go back into history, they will tell you that the word pagan out of the Latin means, and I got it right here, out of the Middle English or from Latin, paganos means villager, somebody from a villager or rustic or from a country or a district. It also means civilian. So over the years, this has changed. It became Christian Latin. It became heathen under the Christian dynamics. That's when the Jesuits and all of them started taking over the lexicon, dictionaries, and all that stuff. They rewrote what it meant and turned it in. Instead of it meaning civilian or meaning somebody country district or meaning villager, they turned it into pagan. They turned it into heathens, which was totally wrong because the word is still strong. It still means villager or civilian. So we got to study words. We got to study the etymology of words and go back into it. So big up to all the Moors and the brothers and sisters that do study words and languages, going back beyond what Europeans gave us, but going back to the Moorish paradigm, going back to the African paradigm, going back to those in Kemet and all that. So please, but my strength is in numerology, and it is most definitely an African system. We were building things with mathematics, understood the mathematical symbols. We understood these sigils of numerology and the studies of numbers on various levels. That's why we were able to build great, great, great kingdoms and great, great, great temples and put those sciences in. You got to understand that Pythagoras, according to Isaac Newton, one of their own great scholars, said that Pythagoras left Greece. He didn't have this system of the Pythagorean system of numerology and all that until he came back after his studies outside of it. So he didn't get the information from Greece. He got it from outside, which is amongst India and Africa and all those different other regions of darker hue people. So please know the history. Our mystery is their history. That's our mysteries, and that's our story. My story, Miss Story is our history, So, hey, I'm just happy. I am enjoying life on this realm until I transition and move on to the higher realms because, hey, it's all inevitable for all of us. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Once again, the books that I did come out of was, of course, Lloyd Strayhorn's Numbers in You. My book, of course, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. Also, my children's book is called Numbers Are Simple, Our Children's Health is Important. I got a lot of extra stuff in there, a lot of health websites and also health books from our melanated perspective. And also, we got vaccine exemption directing you straight to our brother Baba Phil Valentine and his website in my book, and all in full color, that book. And also, we came out of this book by an Indian, every darker hue person in here. All of these people are darker hue people, myself, Lloyd, and this guy. Harish, Johari, very good book. And please take the time and study, research, and keep on studying until you understand who you are from a higher perspective. Once again, I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank all my family, my friends, my true family, my two friends. I want to thank those that I have not yet met or taught. Remember, if you want to get a numerology consultation session with me, please, I do the compatibility sessions for relationships. I do that. I do children's readings also. And I do, family readings and all that. I do lectures. If people pull me in, 10 or more people, I do lectures, I do seminars, I do workshops, and I am also a booking agent myself. I'm also a producer, promoter. So I got a lot of things coming up. In the month of March, we might have Renoka Rashidi in Nicholas, Brooklyn. I just got to confirm some stuff. In the month of April, I'm looking at either Professor Griff and Soleil in Nicholas, and then Ashwa Kwesi in Nicholas also. I'm trying to keep it small right now because these venues are trying to charge more, and I ain't got no time for that. I keep it moving now. I'm not going to continue to just put out, and not get back, because I do have to feed myself and my family also. I have stuff to take care of, bills to take care of, and totally understand this is what I do for my life, because I love doing it. And that's what you need to do. Find what you love to do and turn it into a business because you love it. I left corporate America working on radio when radio became a job to me because they had too much control over me. I was a morning show host making $60,000 a year in New York City, $57,692 to be exact, $57,692 to $92,000 to be exact. $57,692. I made that much yearly doing a morning show. But once it became too job-like or too much of a burden upon me, because I really came to radio because I love talking to people. I love playing music at that time. Once I realized that, it was time to go in 2005. And what's so interesting, 2005, it happened. And I was in my number 9 year because I'm born February 1st, and that 2 and that 1 is a 3 plus 2005, which is 7. So that 3 plus the it was my number 1 year, but I was coming out of 9 year going into number 1, which is an ending and new beginning. So when I lost that job in 2005, which became my number 1 year, boom, new beginnings. That's when I decided to set up my own business and continue on my business of promotion, production, and also getting more into the numbers and all that kind of stuff. So, hey, numbers have not failed. As long as you start recognizing, understanding your angel numbers and all these different numbers around you, they will not fail you. They can only guide you. They're there to help you, guide you, show you the way. If you take the way, that's up to you. If you don't want to take the way, that's up to you also. Everything is in your own hands. You are the operator. Know thyself. So big up to all you brothers and sisters out there. Once again, friend me on Instagram. Become my friend on Instagram. That's King Simon Productions on Instagram. Friend me, become my friend on Instagram. Friend me on Twitter. Become my Twitter follower at King Simon Prod. King Simon PROD. Hit me up on my website, KingSimonProductions.wordpress.com. Join my community there. I throw up things every month over there. Also, if you want to find out anything about my classes and events and my events that's coming up, I'll be posting a lot on my birthday weekend, February 1st, that weekend. I'll be posting the new stuff and, of course, the tickets to Ashwa Kwesi. More likely, Renoka Rashidi. I'm going to be posting all that stuff up on KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. That's KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. Also, if you want to take a class, my classes, make sure you email me. It's good to email me because I don't know what I'm going to post it, but I will be posting it on my Eventbrite. But you can email me at numbersaresimple@gmail. That's numbers, the letter R, simple at Gmail, or KingSimonProductions@gmail.com. That's King Simon Productions with an S at the end of production or without an S. I got both of them. King Simon Productions without an S, King Simon Productions with an S at gmail.com. That is also my Gmail account. So, hey, again, you could text me If you're out of the state, if you're out of the United States and you're in England or Canada, please text me via WhatsApp. That's King Simon Numerology, 347-496-1022 on WhatsApp. And if you want to record it, you must have a Skype account. And then we record it, we would do it, record it, and you will get it in your email within 24 hours after the recording. And if you're in the United States, just text me your full name and date of birth. But everybody has to text me their full name and date of birth, whether via WhatsApp or regular cell phone in the United States at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And subscribe. Click that bell so you can get all the notifications. I'm gonna step it up with this health and step it up with more balance and family things in regards to numerology, because I'm in my number 6 year. I'm entering fully on my 6th year on February 1st. So I can't wait. I'm having fun. And although that's one of my challenge numbers, and remember, I give you your challenge numbers and I give you your high frequency numbers. Your low frequency numbers are your challenge numbers. Your neutral numbers are the ones you could either go in and out of the challenge into high frequency, into low frequency. But those main numbers that I give you, you pay attention to those numbers. Pay attention to those numbers. And if you want to play the numbers, guess what? Get the book by Kenneth Dickerson. And even in Lloyd Strayhorn books, this book he has about winning lottery, but he also mentioned Kenneth Dickerson, and Kenneth Dickerson's book is called How to Win Game of Chance. How to Win Games of Chance by Ken Dickerson. I know his daughter, beautiful sister Colleen Muhammad. She's not really into it, of course, but hey, you can get it off of their website, any of Ken Dickerson's stuff, because he's transitioned already. Good brother. He was a Cancer brother born on the 6th of July. And so please pay attention to those frequencies around you, all the stuff, especially in 2003. Expand. This is expansion month, exposure year. Expose and expand your mind to other things beyond what you've been taught regularly. And numerology is just one of the tips of the iceberg next to astrology. And if you do need an astrology reader or any readers that can, if you want an astrology natal chart done, you can text me and I will text you the information for the astrologers that I know that I'm connected to, like the Ra Akul, the Karina Davis, the Alexa, and various other people that do astrology or numerology, and those people that can help you with the astrology chart, because a lot of you need to be charted that way also. And you might want to chart your children just to know where you're guiding with numerology. I'm just going to give you the guidance of it and how to help your children along the way. And the astrologers do the same thing. Also, I can give you tarot readers and spiritual guidance like Ella and Sister Ella or Miss Gina and various other people. I love all of them. So, of course, Miss Lino, big up to her all the time. Thank all those brothers and sisters that are doing the work out there trying to guide you, the people. Trying to guide you, the people, to be your very best you so you can know who you is. Not trying to find no followers and people to worship us and none of that stuff. We ain't into all that foolishness. Please. We got enough issues with ourselves. I ain't looking to build no following like people following, praising me. Hell no. You have the same stuff that I got. And you could either be better or you could be at your worst. That's totally up to you. I'm out of here, family. I love you. Remember, the books that I showed on here, it's all on Amazon and Kindle. Have a great day, afternoon or evening, wherever you may be, and I might go back there and train. All right. Peace. Peace and love.